Finally, Jesus called us to take his message to the ends of the earth. And that's a huge statement, but it's also a promise because when God gives us a mission, he also provides us with the power to fulfill it. Now, in the past, ECF has financially supported a church in Venezuela, as well as a parachurch missions organization that's found right here in Costa Rica. And that particular organization has 62 projects around the world sharing the gospel, including 6 areas of the world where the gospel has never, ever been shared before. And I love that we've done that. But I also want to share with you a little bit of my passion when it comes to world missions and the heart behind why I say this. As most of you know, in my now almost 26 years of being a pastor, not only have I been able to be a local church pastor for many of those years, but I've also been privileged and honored for 4 years to have personally trained over 10,000 churches and 30,000 pastors representing 72 different denominations. And I share that because when it comes to world missions, I've seen and heard a lot. And here's one of my pet peeves. A lot of churches will say, well, we're sending $20 a month to 50 different missionaries around the world, and they think that's a good thing. They think, well, that's that. We've done our part to reach the world for Jesus. Now, don't get me wrong. I guess there's nothing wrong with that. It's better than doing nothing. But personally, I think it's much better when we take that same $1,000 and invest it in one country with 1 or 2 missionaries or ministries that we're not just supporting them financially, but relationally, we've been invested in them. You see, living on a foreign mission field is a very hard calling. And yes, missionaries appreciate our financial support, but even more so, they covet our prayers and our visits to them on the field to help them. And when we show genuine concern for the people that they're called to reach. And so that's why Rigo and I just last month spent 6 days down in Peru on a scouting trip. Through some of his contacts and others from ECF, we were exposed to some amazing mission opportunities. We had a great week in Peru, and we traveled around. We saw 4 different ways that ECF may be able to partner, not just financially, but by sending teams down to do everything from construction projects way up in the mountains in a remote village, to serving in a rural orphanage, to working with young 20-somethings in a major city who are trying to get their adult lives established, to working with a church of 40 people, of which 30 are kids. And the reason for that is because the men of this remote town are off most of the time in the jungle working for the mafia, either illegally mining gold, illegally harvesting lumber, or illegally producing cocaine. And so the pastor and his wife they're doing an amazing job of reaching the next generation so that they don't fall into the same sin. And it's extremely hard work, and they're doing a great job, but they could use our help. And as we pray today, I want us to be praying that God would make it clear to us, what are we supposed to be doing in Peru? And that you may play a part in whatever it is that gets revealed. Our plan is for at least one group trip from ECF in 2026. So pray about you being a part of that team. And let's also pray for missionaries all around the world who are faithfully serving to boldly share the gospel so that every tribe, nation, race, and tongue may know the same transforming power of Jesus that you and I have experienced. I love you guys. I can't wait to be back with you next Sunday. In the meantime, let's keep following Jesus, being changed by Jesus, and on the mission of Jesus in our Jerusalem, in our Judea, in our Samaria, and to the utmost ends of the earth. God bless.